They could connect with that energy of the moon and really feel it even when they couldn't see it. Welcome. We're going to talk about something wonderful. You can look outside. We have a huge dust storm. Not in Los Angeles, obviously. We're going to talk about the moon centers and the moon and how the moon affects us, especially as women. We get affected. We look at the moon. The moon is magical, right? We get to see it as it grows a little bit each night. Then it gets totally full. And then it's on its decline, right? There were tribes, ancient tribes, that used to chant and pray, and that in the dark, nights of the moon. And people were like, oh, they were trying to bring the moon back. They thought the moon had left. I don't think that's what they thought. I think they thought that this was a time that they could actually connect where they couldn't see the moon, but they could connect with that energy of the moon and really feel it even when they couldn't see it. Because the moon is very much, it shows a little bit of itself, then it shows its totality, then it, goes back into, a much more exclusive, reclusive state. We are more affected by new moons and full moons, totally. That's why people will say do a fast on a new moon and a full moon, water fast, dry fast, because these times really affect our whole endocrine system. And you want to make sure that you have enough fluids in your body, especially on a full moon. Not alcohol fluids, okay. Water the best, but any kind of fluid so that it's not pulling on your endocrine fluids. That's what makes us crazy. The moon has gotten a bad rap, but full moons, hospitals will say, full moons, new moons, way more births on full moons and new moons. The hospitals will be, I know that both of my children were born on a full moon. So it really does affect us in ways that we know and the ways that we don't know. But the moon centers is such an amazing sacred science about how the moon really affects women. Literally goes through 11 points in your body and makes us more changeable. And men can tell you, women talk too much and women are very changeable. One day they feel like this, one day you feel like this, like what's up with you? Because we're influenced by the moon and not the sun. And it doesn't mean you're crazy because you feel changeable every day. It means that when you know about the moon centers, you can understand that there's ways to get from the challenge state into the positive or the neutral state so you can feel empowered, kind, calm, and connected. And if that sounds good to you, then you want to know more about the moon centers, right? And what they can do for you, with you, by you. I'm going to be doing a couple of free webinars in March, this month, right? On the 17th and 21st. So if you want to know more about the moon centers, you've got lots of choices. You can buy my book. You can come on the, free webinar and find out if it's something that really can talk to you. I'll just give you one little moon center thing. When you're in your cheeks, right? These cheeks that we love to, put things on to make them look higher or more alive or whatever. But your cheeks, when you are in the positive aspect of it, you are a public relations firm all in yourself. You can see things, you can do things, you can put things together, you can bring people together, you can make things really happen, right? When you're in the challenge state, you'll end up flirting, which means flitting, which means looking for someone outside of you to tell you how beautiful and lovely and wonderful you are. I'm not saying that doesn't It's not okay for that to happen. I'm just saying you don't want your whole world rocked by what someone else thinks about you or how they tell you. And in the neutral state, this is about, beauty and radiance, right? So how do you get from that challenged state of like, look at me, hi, me, to that place of beauty so that you can elicit that beauty of others, right? There's things you can eat, there's things that you can, do, but one of the things is like, how do you break up the hold that we feel, our challenged states have on us? We say that we have a negative, positive, and neutral mind. Your negative mind is not negative. It is really protection. It's to protect you. It's there to protect you. So we learn how to do all this so that, someone will love us and see us. But the truth of it is that we can have an overdeveloped protective mind. And how do we get from the protective mind to that neutral mind, which is the place of grace and vastness, where you can see and elicit from others their beauty, their grace, their radiance. And one of the really simple ways is to know how to simply break up that hold, right? Just, how do you just cut that, that connection that's going on? And super simple way is just taking both hands and just chopping down, just doing that. Another really great way is over the top of your head, just and do that for like 3 minutes, and you'll just find this whole energetics of your magnetic field will change, and you'll clear the space so that you can really download the divine on the top of your head. So if you want to know more about, this was one of the moon centers, a little tiny slice of the moon centers. If you want to know more, I'd love to have you on one of those calls. Go take a look at my website and know that this is the time for you to learn so that you can embrace the vastness of who you truly are, not to be a slave to your emotions and what's happening outside and feeling like you're in a whirlpool all the time. Yes? Blessings. Love you.